Cities is sponsored by SFG Medicare. On today's Medicare Tips with Andrew, we're going to be talking about networks and how to be able to see the doctors you want when you want. Good morning, Andrew. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Oh my goodness. Shared some really good news with me a minute ago. We'll talk about more of that a little later on, but let's talk about being able to see the doctor you want. Now, are there any plans that allow you to see any doctor you want?
Yes, so if you want the freedom of being able to see any doctor that accepts original Medicare, a Medicare supplement or a Medigap plan will actually let you see any doctor in the country as long as they accept regular Medicare.
Right. Now that sounds a little bit confusing. Now let's say that someone has like Acme Insurance, okay? They have to take Acme Insurance Medicare supplements, don't they?
Correct. So if a doctor takes original Medicare, it doesn't matter what insurance company it is. Even if they don't have contracts with that insurance company, they have to take it. So for example, let's say you have a Bass Pro Visa credit card.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's a Bass Pro Visa card, as long as it's a Visa credit card,
right,
then a restaurant or a store, has to take it.
And now that's with Medicare supplements. Now Medicare Advantage, do they have networks? Is that correct?
Correct. So Medicare Advantage plans are different, and there's HMO plans and there's PPO plans, and they do have networks.
And we hear this a lot, but what is the difference between an HMO and a PPO?
So basically a PPO will allow you to go outside of a network and have coverage, and a HMO you cannot go outside the network.
Now when you say go out of network, what does that mean?
So that means that the doctor has a contract with the insurance company. So with a PPO you can see doctors that are not in the network, but you're going to pay a little bit more.
So does that mean if like a doctor charges $200, are you going to pay $100? Well, how does that work out for folks?
Correct. So usually with a PPO plan or an HMO plan, if they're in the network, you have a set copay, so maybe $30. With a added network with a PPO, it's usually going to be a percent, like 50%, which on a $200 bill would be $100. So it's kind of expensive.
So which one would you say is better, HMO or PPO?
So everything changed a few years ago in that with the network plans, you can go anywhere in the country as long as they're in the network. So being able to travel and see doctors outside of our area, you don't have to have a PPO anymore. So it really depends on the plan itself rather than an HMO or a PPO.
And you help people, and this is one way you help people, isn't it?
Right. So this is what I do is I look at people's situations and I look at their doctors and I look at their drugs and all the factors. And so being a PPO or an HMO really isn't as factor as much as the plan as a whole.
Right.
And so I'll have tons of people on PPOs, I'll have tons of people on HMOs. It just depends on their individual situations.
Thanks for explaining all of that. Now, if folks want to get a hold of you, it's real easy, isn't it?
Yes, so everything I do is just on an appointment basis, so people can call me anytime and we'll look at their individual situation and do anything that we need to do.
And right before we came on the air, I'm going to tell on you a little bit. You just got engaged. Congratulations.
I did, and she's actually going to be joining the insurance business with me as well as my son. And so I have a 26-year-old son. Actually, his birthday was 2 days ago. And so you'll see them here in the near future. And
proposed after skydiving. That's an adventure right there.
Yes, it is.
And you're really getting ready to start another adventure, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Absolutely. But if folks need help, it's simply a phone call away, correct?
Yes.
All right, Andrew, we appreciate you. And congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, folks, Medicare Tips with Andrew, SFG Medicare, Andrew Price. That there's the number. If you need help, call that number right there. Go to that website as well. And you can find him on Facebook as well. The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by SFG Medicare.